Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is your host,
Nico.
and Irvin, and this is Shining Spotlight, the stream where we highlight creatives in the industry in order to inspire you guys. Today, we have a comic book artist who edges their soul into their work. She's done several projects over the years, which have entered in competitions and even won the excellent award in the International Silent Audition back in 2015 with her comic Aerials. Some of the other comics that she's done over time include I Ain't Superstitious, the fan-made comic LSD Dream Emulator, and of course, Dear Gregor, which is based on her life. Today, we have the crafty, tactical Jan Apple today. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, I really appreciate it. I mean, since I've seen your work, one of the things that stands out to me, of course, the most is definitely like the colors in your work. You know, the way that you're of course there's the character models and everything, but the colors has been one of the things that's really stood out to me. Like I feel like you're a really amazing color. So I just have to say that before we even like jump into anything.
Oh, that's interesting because I think that I'm more skilled in black and white than color.
Really?
I love high contrast art. So there's like a whole thing about like paintings, especially where I was told and taught that like you're not supposed to use black and your shadows because it makes the whole image dull or something. I forgot, but yeah, I love to put like spots of like dark black.
No, I think that
corners and colors, and I think that helps pop out the colors as well.
No, I can definitely say that, like the shading and everything, and where everything's. I don't know if you have Nico. Do you have a image that you can maybe throw up on the screen for people to be able to look at of Jan's work?
I can go ahead and throw up the first page of LS Dream if you're okay with that.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, give me one moment to pull it up here.
And while he's doing that, oh, there we go. Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, the quality of your work is definitely top-notch professional. I definitely have to say that.
Thank you.
Now, what I want to know, as far as like the projects you're working on, like who are your influences in both art and writing?
So for art, I was definitely influenced by Jamie Hewlett from the Gorillaz music videos.
Oh my gosh, that stands out. Like that's honestly, yeah. I can definitely tell. When you said that, I didn't even think about that, but I'm like, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. So one of my biggest influences. And then I like Max Grecke. He's a Swedish artist that's pretty famous online that I absolutely love his style. Max Grecke, Grecke.
I feel like he's somebody I should probably be familiar with. I'm not.
He drew some artworks for Hearthstone.
Ah, I see.
He's a Blizzard artist.
Oh, okay. Now, I think I know who you're talking about then. While we're going through the questions, I actually wanted to know: would you be willing to maybe share your screen and show us some art today? You know,
absolutely.
I would appreciate that. Thank you so much. So we're doing something a little bit different today, folks. You know, you're gonna see some of the process on how Jan goes about a lot of her work. And she's going to talk about some of that while we're going through and just chopping it up today.
Yep.
So we're going to give her a moment to go ahead and do that, and then we'll jump straight into everything else. All right. So what is it that we're seeing right there on the screen?
Okay, so this is a template that I usually use when I'm creating. I draw thumbnails and rough sketches for every ideas that I have. Yeah, sometimes my first idea is like too repetitive or too like overused, I guess. So I try to like really push myself to like crank out ideas and concepts as much as I can before choosing the one that I want to work on.
Oh, okay. Well, no, that makes sense. You know, rather than go through and do the whole page and then it'd be a thing where.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, I feel like a lot of artists get, some people get too ahead of themselves and just jump in to do it, and then
Exactly.
Yeah, I had the bad habit of where I start something and then I don't really like it in the middle, and then I have a really bad habit of just like, tossing the table and just, okay, done, delete, on to the next. And it's kind of a time waster
So
because it's not.
which project is this from in particular? Is this
This is from Verity Familia. That's one of my oldest comic series that I haven't been working on, so I can't really say it's a series,
Okay.
but it's definitely something that I want to work on in the future. Yeah, he's one of my favorite original characters.
I see. And with the I was gonna say something about not that story, but LSD Dream Emulator. What made you decide to
Yes.
do like a fan made comic of that?
Well, see, the game itself doesn't have a story or anything, if
Mm-hmm.
you're familiar with it. Um, yeah, it's just well, it's really hard to say a game. It really is just you, first person, walking around like bizarre landscapes that's like badly rendered in PS1 quality. And I used to use it kind of like a meditation in a way. So I played it a lot when I was stuck in an office job that I was going nuts. Like I was seeing hallucinations while I was at the office because I was in this like cubicle type room with no windows. I was overworked and I was so stressed that I just needed a time off and play this game. And I guess the story involves some of my own experiences because the main character is, an overworked, doesn't care about life much, and he like seeks like excitement and adventure in his dreams, and that's where it is right now.
Okay.
I see.
And this was like this was part of an anthology of sorts.
Yep.
What kind of take us into the background of this? What was it like working on this process?
It was definitely interesting because it was a Japanese self-publisher, I guess. One of the person that I found on the forum about this game was saying like, hey, we're trying to come up with like a fan-made book to sell at one of their conventions. If you want to apply now. And I just went to that website and signed up, and they said that I was in. So I'm like, crap, I need to come up with something. So,
Wow.
but it was an interesting book. It didn't just revolved around comics. It was illustration, there was photographs, poems, like a deep analysis into like some of the neat tricks that you can do in the game. And yeah, it was fun like seeing people and working with people overseas.
For the, let's say, aspiring artists that's never really worked with a group like that, like it's part of like an official anthology. Could you kind of break it down more? What that process was like?
Um Actually, none of the anthology work sticks out to me. They all have a team leader and you just do what you do, and you get comments and edits if needed to. And yeah, it's basically you're working on your own part. And
What would those what would those edits be looking like? Like when an editor comes to you, uh, how many times did you have to like go through that back and forth?
I'm actually pretty good with the editors not really giving me too much stuff
Okay,
to change,
like
but
that. I like that flex.
I know. I was like, that's a true flex right there. Like,
right. But yeah, I'm usually the one like suggesting when I'm like writing this I get the script from somebody, and then I'll be like, oh, like this is broken up into 2 cells. I want to put it into one to, focus on this emotion that's going on, or like there's too much words in this dialogue bubble. Let's cut it down or divide it up into sections. So yeah.
No, that's interesting because there are many artists who will basically just go by what the script says, not really giving back that kind of feedback or suggestions on
I
what to cut down on.
I love comic layering. Like that's one of my favorite part about drawing comics is putting like what size and what shape cell and to which direction, and caring about the whole eye flow and the whole design aspect of it is great.
So I'm curious. So like I know you mentioned that Gorillas was one of the artist for Gorillas is one of your influences, but what made you decide you actually wanted to create comics? Why not just stick to illustration?
So when I was a kid, I had a lot of like my parents got me like manga and comics for me to read, and I don't know, like most of them kind of just it wasn't like a novel. There's pretty pictures and short sentences to read, so it was just time waster back then. But I came across this one sci-fi manga called The Phoenix by Tezuka Osamu.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's the Resurrection.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I actually went to the Tezuka Museum last time.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh wow, I'm jealous.
So am me.
Oh my gosh. Any case.
Yeah, so I read The Resurrection and it just like lightning strike. This is what I want to do. So since then I've been walking this dark path of drawing comics.
Interesting. Okay. So basically, those basically just being like kind of like an avid reader of comics is kind of what propelled you into that. So you've been doing this for a long time then. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, I've been like doodling on like, side of notebooks, and I would steal paper from the teachers to draw while during class, and I think my first like comic as a kid, I was drawing like Pokemon fan comics with my original character, like doing her little adventure.
So are you all self-taught basically, or have you ever like had like a like any like mentors of sorts, or anybody like guiding you like, hey, I'm gonna help you reach the point you want to reach basically to where you are today?
Oh, no, I walked this lone path.
Oh my gosh, like
lone wolf.
Prodigy.
No. I do read some like how-to books and try to pick up some of the stuff that I think that would be useful, and sometimes I don't agree with them, so I just try to read as much as I can and learn what's good. But yeah, most of like writings or like designing cells is from like different aspects of media, I guess. Like a lot of my influences are from movies and storyboards for telling a story visually. And writing is like, I don't know, I read more like script writing books and like comedy writing books to like write comics. So I don't have like a specific like manga or comics that I look up to for those skills, if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. I honestly think that should be how it is a lot of times, where people pull from different influences. Like how important do you feel foundation is when creating comics? Because you have a lot of people out there who they see a style of something that they like, and they try to do that, but they don't really have any foundation underneath it. So it's kind of like having a nice car, but the car doesn't run good. Like, what do you think?
Man, I had to like reteach myself for like 3 years on like fundamentals of drawing. And yeah, like one of the things I love about drawing is to draw three-dimensional objects, right? So I had to learn like all the color fundamentals, the shading fundamentals. Like I pretty much took like 2 to 3 like painting classes to get the gist of it.
Interesting. Okay. Now, actually, before we continue on that note, I noticed that we do have some comments that have appeared in the comment section. I just want to quickly address those, and then we'll get right back. So it looks like we have PK Trainer Fadi. Yo, what's up, Fadi? Then we got, it's funny, every time I see PK Trainer Fadi, I'm not even gonna lie, and he's gonna get mad that I say this, but I just think of PK Fire. PK Fire. PK Fire. I'm sorry, I had to say it, Fadi. I know him, so anyway.
I'm sure I did that intentionally.
Yeah. Anyway, Imaginos TV, outstanding artist. Thank you so much, Imaginos TV. Yes, she does. I think that's in reference to something earlier. Then we have G Walker Tion, thumbs up. Thank you, Tion. All right. Che Baker, what's up? What's up, Che? How you feeling? All right. What's your biggest inspirations in any favorite artist? I believe she said that earlier. She mentioned Gorilla, like the artist that does gorillas, and then what was the other artist that you mentioned once more?
Max Greke, and I want to mention Inkwire and Nico Delort as well. Those are my like influences. I'm trying to separate my favorite artist to what I'm gonna be like trying to learn from them, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, I had this like a whole folder full of like art that I really liked, and I get like overwhelmed with the different styles and I guess concepts that I enjoy, but like I had to like sit myself down and be like, no, this is what you're trying to like incorporate in your artwork, and then these are just stuff that you like and enjoy. And it is a hard process that I'm still going on right now.
That makes sense. When you separate, separating your favorite versus, what you actually want to pull, because it's kind of like being a fan of something versus studying something. It's
right.
A lot different.
Yeah, because one of my like favorite painters is Zdzisław Bekinski. He's a Polish painter that draws this like really great like surrealist artworks, and I want to draw like him, but that's not going to be beneficial to me being a manga artist,
I mean, you could always pull some techniques out of what you like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anything can be. But I'm saying like when it comes to like artists and influences, I'm trying to like hone down what's really useful for me.
Most definitely, that makes sense. You're going to say something, Nico?
That name, how do you spell that first name?
Zdzisław.
Zdzisław.
Yeah, Bekinski.
Okay. That's a hard one. That's hard.
And then when it comes to like writing stories, I love Edgar Wright's movies. So I take a lot of inspiration with the whole like scene changes and like quippy dialects and whatnot. I love Franz Kafka's work as well. It's a novelist, but
I think I've heard of him before, so I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, and then I love the show Archer, and South
Oh yeah,
Park.
I know Archer. Oh yeah, South Park. Of course, I know. This guy over here loves South Park. You know, I know Archer. I never actually watched Archer before, but I
Oh,
know.
it's so good. Like, there's an episode where the characters are just stuck in an elevator, and that's the whole episode.
Yeah.
And it's just the dialogue, and that's it. And it's one of my favorite episodes. So it taught me like how important like building and like designing and give life to your characters.
If you have good characters, you can basically,
Yeah.
definitely.
Hmm.
Let's see here. All right, next one. Exceptional artwork, Che Baker.
Thank you.
Literally a prodigy, Che Baker. Che Baker. I'm also inspired by television and film. Kafka is very much the essentialist.
Yeah,
Matthew
existentialist. Yeah.
Existentialist. All right, and then next comment, Dirk Manning. Love Franz Kafka too. All right, let's see here.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I read the Metamorphosis. It's so good. Like it touches me in a weird way.
So I have to ask, with as good as your skills are, do you have like anybody who like keeps you motivated? And what I mean by that, like, okay, some people, and you know, and I know everybody doesn't have this, but it's something I love to ask because I always think it's fun. Like some people have rivals, you know, and maybe they keep each other motivated, like in a healthy way. Do you have anything like that?
Yeah, no, I don't think I have anybody that I can call them rivals per se. Like I have friends and like people that I want to work with, but I don't really see them as competition.
Oh, so I could interpret that a couple different ways. Be like, y'all ain't touching me, you know. Y'all can't touch me. I'm right here. You know, what are y'all gonna do? You know, not messing with you, but
oh no, you got me. Like that's pretty much my attitude when it comes to my art. Is you know, I have a direction that I want to take. This is the path that I want to go to. You know.
Okay, all right then. You know, well then we already know what it is then. So I'm like, any artist, what you know, out here watching, you already know what it is. You can't touch Jan. I'm just messing with everybody, but oh man.
Yeah, no, that's part of the reason why I'm drawing that LSD Dream Emulator comic too. Like, it's not gonna be popular by any means because of the material, but it's the story that I want to tell, so I draw it.
So you draw, you basically like, you know, I'm not really just drawing just for me. I'm drawing to show y'all how it's done. And I'm about to get a lesson today, you know.
Yep.
Oh man. You know, okay, so you know, I have to ask this, you know, I know it's something that people don't really like to think about, but like since, you know, of course, COVID hit last year or whatever, the convention game has changed and everything. Like, has COVID affected you in any sort of way as like an artist, or has it actually in some ways like helped you be more creative?
Oh, I loved quarantine life. Like, forcing me to stay at home all the time is great. But creatively, I don't think I've drawn as much as I should. I definitely did some like self-improvements, like honing, like taking online classes for like time management and production management skills. I took some classes in like writing dialogue and like educational stuffs, but being able to do that without like really getting overwhelmed by the daily grind was really helpful. Sad things happened, but personally, I've had a lot of fun.
It's interesting. I'm kind of curious though. You said it hasn't benefited you creatively.
What's that?
You said it hasn't benefited your creativity a little bit ago.
yeah, I don't think my art directly got like influenced by it.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're just other aspects like cooking, writing.
No, I just found it interesting because you said you got more classes in during the period, though.
Yep.
That's interesting.
But I didn't take any like art classes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she's already at that level. No.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from that, though, did you Did you intend for any appearances at conventions for this year?
No, not at all. I may be going to Youmacon because it got carried over by last year, but we're not really sure because it's not run very well. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if that's actually going to happen this year, given everything that's going on,
Right, and they already had issues with planning everything and booking everything. The people who run it is chaotic, so.
So, as far as basically, looking at how your art is, like, how do you plan on? That's the best way of be putting it is advancing the game. Like as far as like with your skills, like do you plan on doing more with your art than just for example, like comics? Do you plan on maybe ever getting any of your works translated into any type of animation, that sort of thing? Or
Oh yeah. I don't know, I feel like I'm like restarting my art career in the past 2 years. I've had like a major depression for like 3 years.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, like
Like,
4 years ago. So yeah, I'm like restarting my career, so I have many things to look up to. Like I have to send like proposals to like publishers, try to get some, book deals going. Eventually I would love to have, a movie or a show adaptation of my comics. That would be great, but ultimately I want to own and run the hydroponics farm tower run by robots.
wait, what? Say that one more time for me.
Wait a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to own and run a hydroponics farm.
Hydroponics.
And it's a tower, like a greenhouse tower, all run by robots.
Interesting. That's actually a different goal than what I was expecting. But I mean, hey, so okay. What I got to ask you this then? What's your plan on getting to that point?
Try to get money as much as I can during, like, in between that. Like, I want to do what I like to do, but I want to eventually like own like real estate and try to get money from that, and then hopefully I'll have enough funds to run my robot catered little farm.
I mean, aside from getting to it, I'm curious why. That's very interesting.
You know what? Hold on. Before she answers that,
Okay.
let's hold that particular answer because that kind of I feel like is somehow going into the question that we like to end it on all the time. So I'm like,
Okay.
I kind of want to like let people like mull that over in their head a little bit. While we get ready to move into the next half, let's answer these questions and then we'll go ahead and make a couple quick announcements. So there's a few more that I don't know if there's questions, but comments it looks like we have. Darren Manning, same. The Metamorphosis is one of the scariest stories ever written.
Oh yeah, and I love it.
Jaren A, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your last name. I think it's Tegan.
Yep.
Jan's artwork is unique and one of a kind. Her style is her own, and I can't wait to see more. Truly a gifted artist.
Aw, thank you.
Okay, and then we have Darren Manning once again. We need to get you to a butts in seats signing when we start scheduling those, Jan. I'm just saying, smiley.
That would be great. Yeah, I worked on an anthology with the whatchamacallit.
I think I'm drawing a blank on it too for I know what you're talking about. So,
yeah, it's buttsandseats.com, and it's a Kickstarter with a whole comic anthology showcasing this life of Tony Schiavone. And it's doing really good, so I'm really happy and glad for that.
We're glad to hear that too. Now, before we move to the next half, I want to make an announcement that this Wednesday we have the Honeycomb Hideout that you're going to see with their next episode. The Honeycomb Hideout. I'm going to put that down in the link below, so you'll be able to get like the Honeycomb Hideout podcast. Basically, if you love anything dealing with talking about not just comics, but being able to talk about topics in the comics communities that nobody really wants to touch, you'll want to go to the Honeycomb Hideout. They've been going on for a while. They just went through a relaunch, so they have their first episode up of their new season up, and you can watch the second one this Wednesday. The next announcement I also want to make too is that there is a Kickstarter up for the comic. I'm for some reason drawing like a Flip Side. If you remember, we interviewed Byron Folk last season. So, of course, he has a Kickstarter up. We wanted to make sure to let a lot of you guys know about it because this comic is, really good. He actually, if you're local to like Michigan, he usually makes an appearance at YomaCon every year as well. So, we definitely want to support what he's doing and definitely think you guys should check out his project and back it for sure. Looks like you're almost at the halfway point of the goal. So, just go ahead and, give them some buzz. And then the last thing, if you're on this video and you want to see this video blow up and make Jan's star shine as bright as possible, go ahead and give this video a like and share it so that everyone else can join in on this video as well. Now, let's get back to everything. So I also am kind of curious, how long does it take for you to work on a page? Like, is it like some people, are slow, they're fast, so how's your process in terms of that?
Mine is average 5 hours. I usually time myself when I'm working on things.
So is that like pencils, inks, and everything, or is that just...
Yep, the whole process.
The whole process. No, 5 hours a page. That's phenomenal.
I don't know, I want to make it a little faster, but I'm just impatient.
So what is it that we're like right now on the screen that we're seeing? Because it looks like you're drawing, different pieces of like using a little bit of reference for it.
Yep, I just had an idea for like a rough background, so taking some ideas and like color references
to kind of reference. Okay, yeah. Now I like the colors right there. Like I don't know, for some reason, feel like I'm looking at, like, at least when you're coloring, and this is, I know somebody's probably gonna roll their eyes at what I'm saying right now, but I kind of feel like dang, it's like watching like Bob Ross or something, watching the paint or something. Like I'm just waiting for you to be like, and just put a little phthalo blue right here.
Just a friendly little tree.
Oh man. And we'll just beat the devil out of it. He always says that, like, we'll just beat the devil out of it. I just think that's funny. Like the brushing. And
just smashing his brushes.
Oh my gosh, But we got a couple more comments that just popped in. I just have to say something because somebody I know personally, the Elite Ace, giving the thumbs up. You already know what it is. We live action. So I had to steal his quote. I'm not gonna lie, that was a steal. But all right, let's get back to being focused. Would you ever actually work on a major run of a comic by Marvel or DC?
Oh, absolutely.
What comic would you do if they told you pick whatever you want?
Wow. Probably Ant-Man and the Wasp, since I'm a huge fan of those. The movies were okay.
Actually, I was going to touch on that. I'm glad you said that because I've also seen it in like you're not a big fan of the MCU, right?
No.
I got to hear why.
I don't know, I guess I don't really like get hyped over like superhero stories much. So the whole morale of like, self-sacrificing for the better good seems culty to me, and it kind of irks me.
Interesting, interesting.
Yeah.
What? Why is that? Like, is it just seems like too campy, or like?
Yeah, I don't really like praising and raising another human to like god mode, I guess. It's just, yeah, it's really culty and religiously, and I have a really bad reaction towards that. And yeah, like Deadpool and Ant-Man seems like, a normal person doing normal things, just they happen to have some cool tools and superpowers, you
More
know?
grounded. So you like more grounded type of works.
Oh yeah, like a lot more grounded, grungy, like, stories about like really hard work, doing dirty things to get where they are is something that I connect more to than, oh, look at this cool person saving the world. Do, do, do.
So how do you stay in touch with your own work? In terms of making sure that it stays grounded and that it keeps inspiration and life in it.
Oh man, I am really bad at it though. Like, I get super jealous over like other people's work, and I'm like, I'm just, I'm replaceable. It's not that great, and I need to like put on some like self hype playlist that I have, and yeah, I just need to have fun. Like whatever that interests me, and like trying to focus on the enjoyment of creating, because I don't think it's something special. Like I told that to my boyfriend recently, and he's like, how do you not think it's really cool to be able to create something from almost thin air into a visual like thing that you can like see and experience? And I don't know, it's just something that I've been doing for so long that is just same as breathing for me. So it's really weird for people saying like, "Oh, you breathe really well." It's like, thanks.
So, like when you see people who maybe they let's say that they're kind of just now getting involved with art, and they're looking at your work and they're saying that basically you kind of feel like, well, I mean, I've just kind of been doing this. Like, but have you ever felt like how do you like as far as like that envy with other artists? I mean, I know you said that you've had a little bit of it,
Oh, I
but
had a lot of it.
oh my gosh, so like who in particular in a good way that you've had that with?
um,
Like,
yeah, the people that I'm inspired to be, for sure. There's some illustrators, comic books, like seriously, like any visual artist that I think they're great. I'm like, why can't I draw like them? So.
interesting, interesting. So, if you had the opportunity to collaborate with like any pro in the industry, who would it be?
I don't really know that much pros that I want to really collaborate with. I know Dirk Manning from the writer for Butts and Seats and Burned But Not Dead. I worked with him before and it was great fun. He has such a good talent in writing like moody scenarios, so I want to work with them again. um, Mark C. Dudley is my friend, so it will be really fun for me to, for us to create something cool. But yeah, other than my like close friends. I don't really have any like pros other than those two that I think
Interesting.
about. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a very like collaborative person, so I don't look at other people's work and go like, "Oh my god, I want to work with them." I'm like, "You do you. That's cool."
Interesting. Okay. Now that makes a lot of sense. Now I hear what you're saying for sure.
It's interesting. Actually, this might be a good segue into it. How What? All right. So for anyone that's like maybe a fan of yours or aspiring to be you, let's say more
Oof.
specifically, be like you, I should say. What would your advice to these aspiring artists be?
Oh man, just don't forget to have fun. It is one of the biggest life lessons that I had to go through, and art isn't worth it unless you're having fun. It's just really like emotionally and physically draining. It's super hard to, keep in like I don't know. It's like it's really competitive. There's whole genres and endless styles that you're gonna get compared to, and I don't know, it's just really hard. So having fun is the only reason that I'll keep on drawing. So
So how do you keep that fun? Like if you're in a like if let's say you're somebody who're like, okay, I have to hit this deadline. I have to be able to do this. I don't want to disappoint anybody. Like, how do you keep that fun?
well, just put a little bit of yourself into everything that you do. So yeah, like what you said about the script, where most people just get the script and just draw what's on the paper. Like, to me, having fun is to be able to push the boundaries with that script. Like, I am putting effort into making this script even more amazing than what it is?
Okay.
And in the case of these same or some of these same aspiring artists, let's say they're feeling themselves a little too hard. They're getting a little overconfident, and they're looking at you like, "I want to surpass you." What would you say to them to challenge them?
To challenge them? Oh man, I have no idea.
What would you recommend to further challenge them so they can reach greater heights?
I'm just picturing Jan as like since you mentioned Pokemon earlier, like she's like the Elite Four champion, and like everybody else, like the trainers, they're trying to like get the badges, their art badges to reach the top. Oh man.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of just say you do you, and I never really. I don't know. It's fun to be that arrogant as well. So.
Okay. So it all comes back to fun.
Yep. Like, if you're having fun with what you're doing, then more power to you.
I'm just gonna start saying it, Elite Four champion Jan Apple.
Sweet. Please make me a bug type
Oh my god.
trainer.
A bug type? Why is
Bug
that?
type. Well, it's one of my favorite. Like, insects are like one of my favorite animals, anyways. But the whole Pokemon bug type lineup is so cool. Like,
Please tell me you love Scizor. Please. That's one of
absolutely. Oh, that is such a sleek design.
That's a problem, right? If I were to be a gym leader, I prefer flying types.
You can prefer your flying types all a while. I don't care.
Oh.
So
That's what bugs up.
hey, Scizor is the
Yeah.
what.
So this is more so aspiring artists. I kind of want to flip it. Would you give the same advice or something a little more tailored and different to aspiring writers?
No, the same advice. You have to put everything down on the page before you can edit it. So, even if you think it's crap, you can always make it better later. So,
So have you ever had like a I would say like maybe a story where you felt like you got really like stuck on it for a while, even though you were having fun with it. Maybe you felt like, you reached a point where you had that writer's block, or maybe you even had that art block where you felt like you were creatively stunted.
oh, absolutely. And I just stopped doing whatever I'm doing for a little bit when that happens. Like, I'll try to focus on something different. I'll work on like other projects. I'll, go on my Excel sheet and code up this like brilliant finance manager Excel sheet. Something to take my mind off of it. Because I know when you get like obsessed over something, like you get a tunnel vision, like you can't get the bigger picture. So yeah, taking a step back is definitely what I would recommend.
So I know you won the Excellent Award
Hmm.
in the International Silent Manga Competition. Like, what was that whole experience like?
Honestly, a little disappointed.
Okay.
Like, not gonna lie to you. It was like, oh, well, I could have gone a little further because the people who won higher ranks than I did were just this like really typical like feel good like of like it'll hit you emotionally in the most basic way, and I'm like, really? I try to be creative and this is what I get.
I think we need more of that, to be honest with you, in the industry. I think there's
Really?
more creativity. Yeah, to an extent. And at least from what I see, sometimes in manga, I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel like you see a lot of manga that come out today that feel
Right,
some.
like it's basically the same thing. Although I do love Jujutsu Kaisen though.
I still have to check
Mhm.
that out. I've heard
It
something
is
about.
a good series. Like it really is like it tried to take the best part about like Shonen Jump and Shonen manga tropes, mushed it together and created something that's really cool.
Yeah, I heard some type of controversy between what was it, Tidy Kubo and where the creator of Junjitsu Kaisen. Where what did they say? It was something along the lines like and I don't know how true this is because I haven't like started like digging deep into it, but I guess him saying something about the female characters in the show, or whatever, were lacking or something. But then people, I don't know how true that is, but
Yeah.
uh, yeah, as far as that particular show, I do have to check that show out. I have not
Oh,
watched
it's
that.
real good. But yeah, other than that, like there are some gems here and there, but I really think that there should be more stories that are not unique, but try to be more like groundbreaking in a way. Like, don't use. Well, I don't know.
So do
Taking
you?
what's already there and then making it your own thing instead of just another repeat, I guess.
So do you think there's like basically like a drought kind of going on a bit in the industry when it comes to that?
Not really. It's not. It's more like a flood than a drought.
I guess I could see it that way. Yeah, if it's the same thing, everybody's throwing. It's not that there's not enough work coming out. It's just there's too much of the same
Right, right.
copy of a copy. Like
Yeah.
Imagine probably tell me all the time.
Or they do like some, you know, like I don't know. I guess it's something closer to like you take Red Riding Hood and then you just made it into a Blue Red Riding Hood with the same exact story, but oh, get it? You know, she has blue.
Same way, different.
Mhm.
Kind of reminds me of whenever I see what's the name of that black clover, I just keep thinking it's
Oh
a
yeah,
Naruto. I mean, I don't know if it actually is, but it looks like it to me.
pretty much. Yeah, it's just a magic wielding Naruto with a giant sword.
So
Just waiting.
let's take the last moment to address the comments pretty much one last time here. Yeah,
Okay.
roll it to wrapping up. And of course, the ladies had to come in once more. I belong here.
Oh my gosh.
Jay Baker, what are your favorite stories? Seems like you like to test boundaries.
I do. I already said what my favorite stories are.
Right. You know, let's see. Imaginals TV, dirty things done dirty cheap or dirt cheap. Darren Manning, aw, thank you. You know I love working with you too. It was a
Aw,
response to earlier.
thank you.
And if I remember correctly, it was Imaginal. So it's responding to you mentioning that fun was the magic formula and all
Yeah.
of this. You know, thank you, thank you, thank you. It further said, preach. And this was a response to the right what you suggested for the writers, specifically the vomit draft. And just throwing whatever on the page, and then the editors will clean it up. Jay Becker finally said, I prefer fighting and psychic type Pokemon.
Those are good types too.
No one, no
Psychic
one,
is one of my
no
favorites
one
as well.
cares. Get out with that generic, common,
No.
stuff.
No. I'm just gonna say no. You need to stop. When I get some time, I'm gonna throw you around another Pokemon battle. On the Switch.
Throw it up.
Oh, I just had to see if I had it right here. Yep. What?
Yeah.
Do you play like Pokemon Sword and Shield?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like, I love the whole like you being a trainer in this like giant stadium, and like there's a crowd cheering you on thing. It felt really nice.
Would you design a Pokemon if you had the chance, or no?
Oh my god, I would love to work at Game
There it
Freaks.
is. There it is.
Oh my gosh, I'm surprised. Wait, have you ever? Because I've never actually seen like. I mean, I've seen your Pokemon. Like you do like Pokemon like like illustrations and stuff. But have you ever like actually tried to like kind of make your own just to see how it would turn out, or?
Nah, plenty of people do that, and like I don't know. I like to like see what they come up with, other than just me just kind of fantasizing about it. I guess, because
Well,
I don't know. There's a lot that goes into it where they have to think about like game balance, and they have their own lore, and like I'm sure it's fun if I like made up on my own, but I know it's just fake. So
interesting. Well, I know if you made one, I'm sure it would be a bug type, if I'm not mistaken.
of course.
Oh my gosh. All right. So we should probably head into that final question that we usually ask. And you've already kind of answered it, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway, in case you want to maybe make any, like additions to it or anything like that. What is your end game? By the end of your career, or, whenever you basically decide, to Thanos it up and sit down and rest, what do you want to look back and be like, this is what I want, as far as, looking back on everything, how you wanted it to go?
Man, I just want to keep on working until I die. I want to die at my desk.
Just fall down. Oh my gosh. Just picture like a pen with like stones in there. That's what
Right.
Jan has, like infinity stones. She's
Yep.
just like drawing with her infinity stones.
Yep. No, seriously, like I don't think I'll ever like stop. I can't imagine old me going like, oh, I'm done with comics. Not gonna draw for the rest of my life. It's not gonna happen. So, I like even if I'm not like drawing manga for publisher, I want to just draw for me. So, till
I
the
love
day I
hearing
die.
That's very interesting. And to further elaborate on what you mentioned earlier, you wanted to own a hydroponics farm,
Mhm.
for a greenhouse farm run by robots. Why is that?
Well, I like everything sci-fi. Like I feel like the human progress is still slow than what I wanted to. So I feel, and also the whole like food crisis and how modern farming isn't really modern. It's just old ways but with more chemicals. So I want to like show to the world how like efficient growing green can be and should be. And I feel like that's like a big like scientific challenge. And I can slap on that fake ass um organic labeling on it because I wouldn't even need to use chemicals in my beautiful farm garden.
Okay,
And yeah, like I don't know, like I think plants can be automated quite
so
easily compared to like other like part of the food chain, I guess. So
so what if those robots decide they're like, you know what? We no longer require you to basically help us. In fact, we're going to turn you guys into seeds and we're going to basically siphon off your energy and you're going to now benefit this farm in another way. Then what do we do, Jan?
took it to the extremes.
What do we do?
we just surrender because that's I think next step of evolution is to give them like consciousness, and if my robots could have that, I am like I will gladly give my life to you.
And that's why you're Jan Apple, right? No, oh man. All right. Well, I think we've pretty much come to the basically almost the end right here. Do you guys have anything, or actually, Jan, do you have anything you want to mention or say, or any announcements you want to say before we go ahead and close out?
Just check out buttsandseats.com. The wrestling anthology is really, really cool, and I want to do more like real life nonfiction comics. So go check that out.
Okay, and we'll put that down in the link below.
Thank you.
Also, make sure you guys hit the like button before you head on out of here. Make this blow up so that we can, of course, spread Jan far and wide and make this really shine brightly. Also, if you're new to Shining Otaku and you not only like interviews, but you like videos that focus on manga creation, community discussions, that sort of thing, or even want to know about the projects that we're working on, you'll definitely want to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We're almost to 250, so definitely would be greatly appreciated. And then, is there anything else, Nico? I think that might be everything.
I'll just repeat the Russell Seats website.
Say it one more time.
Russell Seats website. I might have typed it wrong.
Oh, buttsandseats.com.
Butts and seats.
Yep.
Okay.
.com.
I'll go ahead and put that down below.
Yeah, this is the first time I ever got a professional colorist coloring my artwork, and I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh! It's funny that you say it. I'm like I'm thinking about your colors. It's like you're excited. I'm like, well, how good is this person? Goodness. But okay. Well, I think that's pretty much everything that we've covered today. I do want to say that not next week, 2 weeks from now, we're going to be doing a interview with Gabrielle from Viz Media. Yes, so from Viz Media. So you'll definitely want to make sure you guys check that one out. You should see that. What day will that be? It'll be at the same time. That should be, I believe, on the 11th. Yes, yep. April 11th. So April 11th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll see us there. One last thing I want to say. Is that the finished result of the piece right there that we see there on the screen? Almost not finished, but or is there more that we're missing? Okay, there we go. I just kind of wondered how it all looks at the end. Okay, well, in any case, we'll go ahead and head out of here, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you later.
Yep.
Thank you.
Catch y'all later.
Thank you for your time.
Jen, Irvin, stay on just a minute here. Anyway, catch you guys later.